long you been a supervisor? Started out here as a kid, didn't you? During, y'all can stay up there if you want to, I'm not gonna hold you long. During your course of being a supervisor, you train people, right? Really, as a supervisor, that's your number one job, is to train people. Why do you train them? Let me guess. You train them for their benefit. And in your line of supervision, you train them for their safety, to protect them. Is that right? You train a lot of people over the course of years. Producers, rice mill produces a lot of rice and they have a lot of employees. And this is only one supervisor that trains people. Now, Brother David, what would happen to the employee that you was trying to train or train it and giving lectures to, and they just flat didn't pay you no mind? How long would they be an employee? What would happen if one of your people began to distract and weren't paying no attention to what you were saying? What would happen? You let him go. You let him go. Thank you, Brother David. When the Spirit of God is upon a man or a woman, in whoever's preaching, whichever ministry, and somebody is creating or causing a distraction, even though they think they're doing well. I know a lady in another church, she continued to read her Bible all the time, no matter who was preaching, all the time they were preaching. Joshua was distracted. Nobody said anything to her because she was the mother of the church. She owned the church. She'd been there, her and her family owned the church. They'd been there longer than anybody. So she felt like she had the right to do whatever she wanted to do. But then along came David. I don't like to see anybody distract from the movement of the Holy Ghost.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. I don't care how important you think it is. When the preaching is going on, it's time to pay attention, because God gave somebody a message that could be for you or that person that you are distracting.
Amen.
And you may cause them to miss what God has for them, which is probably a lot more important than what you got for them.
Amen.
That's why my wife pays attention. We have problems. All of us do. If y'all knew my problems, my God, you'd feel sorry for me. But I'm not looking for somebody to feel sorry for me, Josh. I'm looking for somebody that has compassion. Are you looking for somebody to feel sorry for you, Reba? And you'd rather have somebody that has compassion? But you know what? Jesus had compassion. He didn't feel sorry for them. He had compassion. And he laid hands on them. And he healed them. That's having sympathy with the way out. That's what compassion is. I'm looking for somebody that's got a compassion spirit. You may have something wrong, but I know the way out.
Amen.
You understand what I'm saying? Well, the time that you got something wrong, if somebody distracted you, you may miss your way out. If somebody tries to distract you, you say, hey, We're the only one in the whole state of Arkansas that has a pastor as good looking as he is. Look at him. You better be yourself. When the anointing of God is moved, it ain't time to go tell somebody how good a roast you cooking. Or even to tell them something you feel like God might lay on your heart. That everything be done decent and in order.
Amen.
And if you're distracted, it's not in order.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Reading the Bible. Reading the Bible when preaching is going on is not in order.
Amen.
It's not in order. So, we will have people will be affected more by the Word of God and the anointing of the Holy Ghost if they're not distracted.
Amen.
I mean, I dare you wake up though. Y'all think he's asleep sometime? He knows every word means it.
Amen.
He may not say much, but he ain't getting distracted. Because see, it's okay to distract somebody when the Spirit's moving. Don't you dare wake them up when they're asleep. Not in church, so we don't wake them up. But he is paying attention to us. You understand what I'm saying?
Amen.
We can stop. You know we have the power in ourselves to stop the movement of the Holy Ghost.
Amen.
And there's some here today that need to be healed,
Amen.
delivered, set free. And you know why? I said today, Sister Regan, I ain't picking on you. I love you. I love you. But you're here today. Kathy, you are. Joseph, is that his name?
Joseph.
What?
Joseph.
Joseph? Do you know your name? Yeah. No. Anyway, we're glad we're glad that we are. Well, you're here for a purpose.
No, you was not. I asked him this morning, I said, Joseph, you go to church with us? And when he was a kid, he'd always say, no, Mom, I'm making you come. But today, he said, yes, Mother, I want to go to church with you and happy.
Amen.
We think, we think that there are bad things that are happening in our lives. And we ask why. And we just can't figure it out. I mean, I know a story of a man named Joseph. When he was a kid, he was his daddy's favorite. And his daddy loved him dearly. And he was a dreamer. And he told a dream that concerned his brothers. And they didn't like it. Because in his dream, he became their ruler. And they didn't like that because they weren't raised that way. I mean, in those days, the elder son became the one. You understand what I'm saying? So, when Joseph went to help them, to bring them some bread and some cheese and some water, to nourish them, I hope y'all are listening. I hope you're catching what, I hope you're reading between the lines. And he shared this dream with them. Now he was there to, get this, he was there to help them. To make their lives better. To feed them. But they would not accept him. Because he was telling them some things they didn't like to hear. Well, I ain't got this wrote down. So what did they do? They put him in a pit. I know there's people that's been in this church that have left this church that would give anything they would have to be able to put me in a pit. And cover me up. Maybe some sitting here today. Because they don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. And David should have, Joseph should have been, what did I do? All I did was preach the word. All I did was tell them. If y'all moved over here, we'd get a lot closer. I sure saved myself. But Joseph, he could have, but the Bible don't say this, but he could have, what did I do to him? I loved them. I come to feed them. I come to help them. I come to give them nourishment. They're my brothers and I love them, and look what they've done to me. God, why? Why have you allowed the ones that I tried to help to put me in a pit? Not only did they put him in a pit, they sold him into slavery. You know why they sold him into slavery? So that they would take him away out of their sight and they wouldn't have to hear him anymore. Have I ever felt like I've been sold into slavery? Well, anyway, but I'm sure that during this time Joseph was thinking, God, why? I've been a good boy. I honored my mother and my father. I did everything that I could possibly do to be good. I loved. Now Joseph, I wanted to touch on this today, but he didn't just have love, though, but he had charity. There's a difference in charity and love. And we'll preach that in another sermon. But I'm sure Joseph was thinking, what has happened? But see, when Joseph was in his mother's womb, before the coat of many colors was ever thought of, before the dream was ever spoken, God said, I need to deliver you. I need to deliver my people, Israel. Israel. They know Israel. Why do you need to do it? Because God is working behind the scenes. And he knows that the day is coming. Not very far. Not very far away. God's people will need some of you today. You may be in a pit. And you may think that you have been rejected by your own family. And I'm just telling you, I know how that feels to be rejected by your own family. So I can, what's the word I'm looking for?
Relate.
I can relate. A lot of people are just late. But I can relate. Think about that. I can relate to how he may have felt. But already God was preparing him. Because see, You can't just, you gotta go through some things. You gotta go through some things. Have you ever been through some things?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever been to a breaking point?
Yes, sir.
Huh? Who got you there? Most of us, Joseph didn't get himself there, but most of us, we get ourselves to the breaking point. Because we want to do things our way. You know, I told my daughter, don't marry that dude. And she turned my preaching back on me. Because I told her, he's a drug head. Well, you need to practice what you've been preaching. Because you said they can be delivered. I said, yeah, but he ain't. And he wouldn't. He wouldn't. Some people just that. They don't want to listen, so therefore they create their own pit. Now I'm telling you this today because these things, and I'm going to read into what I was going to talk about today. We look around at people and we can read the Bible in their lives. Plain. Because we watch the way they treat God. So I want to try, if I possibly can, in 3 minutes. I can't breathe in 3 minutes. You know? I want to just make mention of some things this morning. The last days. Had a pastor, Alton Garrison. Some of y'all have heard of Alton Garrison. I remember a couple of times when he went to the pulpit, and I love Alton Garrison. I won't tell you, he's a pastor's pastor. But he made this statement on several different occasions. He said, I got up this morning and I had an unusual disdain for the devil. Well, me being from Humino, when I got home, I got the dictionary and looked up disdain to see what it meant. It wasn't a good thing that he had for the devil. But I noticed he always said an unusual. We should all have a disdain for the devil every day, right? And the work that he does. But he said, I had an unusual disdain for the devil this morning when I woke up. The last 2 mornings I woke up and I've had an unusual disdain for the devil.
Amen.
You know why? Because like Joseph's brothers, when Joseph tried to feed them, they wouldn't listen. And for several years now, I have tried to feed people that says, I don't like that. That's my daughter. I don't like that. And my sister pastor, I don't like that. I said, how do you know you don't like it? I just don't like it. Have you ever tasted it? No. Well, how do you know you don't like it? I just don't like it. Of course, our sister pastor, me and, someone here would agree or would say that he's a smart aleck. I'm not going to point no fingers at anybody around I can, but he wanted an argument with me on that, don't like him. He said, I ain't never kissed a man either, but I know I wouldn't like him. I said, well, you win that one. I'll have to agree with you on that one. But I want to talk to you for just a few minutes on the last days. Because the things that I've said to you up until now are signs of the last days.
Amen.
We can take them and we can see the nation and see the Bible. And you know, there ain't nothing I can do about that. But there's 82% of the people that live in Lone Oak do not go to church.
Amen.
And there is something you got to do about that.
Amen. That's right.
But see, to do that, Brother Josh, I'm going to have to feed you
Amen.
because I can't do it myself.
Amen.
So, we talked, I don't know where, it might have been at Jerry's house, when I talked about putting up the frame. We got land. What do you want for? We got land that ain't doing nothing but growing grass. Well, it ain't growing grass right now. It will be next spring. It needs to grow something beside grass.
Amen.
It needs to grow souls.
Amen.
So I had this idea, Rita. I've been wanting to have a tent revival since we got that land. And I've been able to do it. But the Lord showed me, we don't have the money to build the building, because Oprah won't let us have it. Well, we need $700,000. So the Lord showed me just last week. Start out with a frame. Put up the pillars, put a roof on it, and now you got a tent.
Amen.
Now you can have open air revival.
Amen.
Amen?
Amen.
And who are we going to reach? Lord.
Amen.
Lord. Because I'm going to get Jonathan Oliver, if I have to pay him, to come down and play the bass. Because everybody in Lone Oak County will hear him. Amen. But doing that, we can reach people to know.
Amen.
Because they'll come to that when they won't come to this.
Amen.
Amen? So, I don't know how much money we need, but like I said, that God started that project, and God's going to have to do it.
Amen.
And I believe He will.
Amen.
How about y'all? Y'all believe He will?
Amen.
I believe He will. But anyway, we can look at, I talked about the nation, but Brother Josh, the thing that concerns me about the evidence or about the signs of the last days is what's going on in the church.
Amen.
That's what concerns me. It's what we have 82% of the people in Lone Oak don't go to church because of the church. Why would I want to go to some place on Sunday morning and sit with a bunch of people and all they want to do is have drama and fuss and fight about each other and talk about each other, and you see them out at a ball game and they jump and get mad and start cussing each other. I'm talking about church. That's what I'm concerned about. Somebody don't want to get fed, and somebody don't care how good it looks or how good it is. They don't want no part of it because they don't want to change.
Amen.
Whoa! Let me take my coat off. I tell you, that's a watch. It ain't from God. It ain't got nothing to do with time right now. Amen. I'm concerned about the church. Because the world, the 82% are looking at the church and reading the Bible that you write.
Amen.
Come on.
I had a lady tell me a couple of years ago, she don't go there right now, but she told me I got so mad, I just cussed them out. I just couldn't help it. It just overcame me. No, I didn't. It was living in you all the time.
Amen.
It was there, it was in your heart all the time. And then when you got mad, that was that thing that set it off, and the abundance of what was in your heart come out of your mouth. And you caused somebody to go to hell. I hate to preach a dry sermon. Now Reba, she's started covering up.
I know you got kids who throw that water all over your floor.
Why do I say that? Because this is the very number one sign that shows or tells we're in the last day, because of the attitude and the mouth and the tongue of the church people.
Amen.
Come on.
Have you ever got a cussing by a preacher or a Sunday school teacher?
No, sir.
We have.
It does happen. So, the scriptures talk about, I can't believe it's 6 minutes after 12. Talk about the last days. We read about the last days. And we're concerned about the last days until we have to make a change.
Amen.
And then we're more concerned about something else. Leading our kids into hell because we show that church is way down the list. I'm going to feed you something. Some of you probably won't eat it, but I'm going to feed it to you. How many of you have a job? You still got a job? How many of you are late every day at your work? Huh? How many of you are late? You're forever late to go to work. Or you just roll over and say, I just want to thank God for today. Huh? And then come Friday, or the 1st or 15th, whatever it is, you've missed 3 or 4 days' work. You're always late. Not always, but most of the time you're late. And you go down to get your paycheck. And you ain't got one. Thank you, sir. And you get mad. Well, I'm an employee of this place. And you yell and rage and cuss and holler and scream and carry on like some kind of wild person. And you didn't get a paycheck because you didn't do what you was hired to do.
Amen.
But we're really concerned about the last days. And the last days tells us that after that, during the last days go plumb on past the Great Tribulation period. They include that. But 7 years before that, Brother Johnson, I don't know, we taking our head, you know, you're already there, ain't you, son? 7 years before that becomes a payday. It ain't going to be a payday for those that miss work.
Amen.
They're always late. They care more about the worldly things, that are sending their neighbors and their friends and their husbands and their wives and their children to hell because they're reading the Bible that you write.
Come on.
The last time they heard you cuss out somebody because you got mad.
Come on. Lay it.
Your payday won't come yet, but there will be a payday.
Amen.
Because all will stand before Jesus Christ.
Amen.
In the last days, so many things are going to be happening. We are a generation. We are a generation that not only will witness these warnings or these events, but will also witness the rapture, the payday of the church, the payday of the Christian that is living a Christian life.
Amen.
I'm going to make this statement. There's not a person here or a devil in hell can make me mad enough to cuss.
Amen.
You know why? Well, I just thought it was something.
Come on. Come on.
Oh, man. I got to preach this. Not now, but later. So me. Because the power source that makes the person cuss, makes the person get mad, is not in here anymore.
Amen.
Amen.
Now, there was a time.
Hallelujah.
There was a time. Not only, but sometimes this would follow the word. I wanted to drive it home through his nose. You understand what I'm saying?
Amen.
Amen? But the power source, what is the power source that makes you fly off